Hello, my friends, welcome to Books Weekly. Please make yourself comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, and enjoy the wonderful lesson of the 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene. 33 Strategies of War is a book written by Robert Greene, focusing on timeless principles and strategies for achieving success in various aspects of life, including warfare, business, and personal interactions. The book draws inspiration from historical examples and military tactics to provide insights into effective decision-making and strategy. Here's a summary of some of the key strategies discussed in the book. Part 1 of The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene delves into the concept of the self-directed war, the internal battles we face within ourselves and the strategies we can employ to overcome obstacles and achieve our goals. Greene presents this section as a foundation for understanding the broader strategies of war that are discussed in subsequent parts of the book. In this part, Greene introduces 5 strategies that revolve around self-awareness, adaptability, and psychological strength. Here's a detailed summary of each strategy. 1. The polarity strategy. Greene begins with the concept of polarity, which involves embracing contradictions and using them to your advantage. This strategy emphasizes the idea that one can maneuver within the gray areas of life, navigating both positive and negative aspects to create balance. By not being confined to a single perspective and understanding opposing forces, individuals can see situations more clearly and exploit the weaknesses and inconsistencies in their opponents. 2. The guile and deception strategy. This strategy centers on the concept of deceiving opponents to gain an upper hand. Greene explains how appearances can be manipulated to create a false reality that confuses and misleads others. By employing deception, individuals can control the narrative and the expectations of those around them. However, this strategy also emphasizes the importance of mastering self-deception, allowing you to believe in your own deceptive facade and execute it more effectively. 3. The chain reaction strategy. Here, Greene explores the idea of creating a series of events that lead to the downfall of an opponent. By setting off a chain reaction of events, you can weaken your adversary's position and make their resistance crumble. This strategy relies on the interconnectedness of actions and reactions, where a small initial action can snowball into larger consequences. It underscores the importance of patience and calculated moves to gradually wear down your opponent's resolve. 4. The defensive warfare strategy. This strategy emphasizes the value of patience, resilience, and endurance in the face of challenges. Instead of recklessly attacking, individuals are advised to adopt a defensive stance, allowing opponents to exhaust themselves. By maintaining a strong defensive posture, you can weather attacks, conserve resources, and strike back when your opponent is vulnerable. 5. The guerrilla warfare strategy. Borrowing from guerrilla warfare tactics, Greene explores the advantages of using unconventional methods and striking when the time is right. This strategy focuses on mobility, adaptability, and using surprise attacks to undermine an opponent's strength. By avoiding direct confrontations and instead opting for hit-and-run tactics, individuals can disrupt the status quo and keep opponents off balance. These 5 strategies in Part 1 lay the groundwork for understanding the mindset required to effectively navigate the challenges of life and conflict. Greene emphasizes the importance of understanding yourself, your opponents, and the dynamics at play in order to make informed and strategic decisions. The concepts presented in this section provide a foundation for the subsequent exploration of historical and tactical strategies that make up the remainder of the book. Part 2 of The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene is titled Organizational Warfare. This section delves into strategies for effectively managing groups, organizations, and institutions to achieve power and success. Drawing inspiration from historical examples and military tactics, Greene explores methods for creating cohesive teams, managing conflicts, and utilizing structures to achieve strategic goals. Here's a summary of the key strategies discussed in this section. 1. The chain of command strategy. This strategy emphasizes the importance of establishing clear hierarchies within organizations. By maintaining a structured chain of command, leaders can ensure efficient communication, coordination, and decision-making. A well-defined hierarchy minimizes confusion and allows for better control over the organization's actions. 2. The decoy strategy. The decoy strategy involves creating diversions to distract opponents and lead them away from your main objectives. By luring adversaries into focusing on less significant targets, You can gain an advantage and execute your primary goals without undue interference. 3. The command and control strategy. This strategy revolves around centralizing control and decision-making to maintain order and direction. By consolidating authority, leaders can respond more quickly to changing circumstances and maintain a cohesive strategy. However, it's crucial to balance control with adaptability to avoid becoming rigid. 4. The strategic depth strategy. The idea behind this strategy is to create layers of defense and contingency plans. By having backup strategies in place, organizations can mitigate risks and respond effectively to unexpected challenges. Strategic depth also ensures that a single setback does not lead to complete failure. 5. The defensive warfare strategy. In organizational terms, this strategy involves conserving resources, avoiding unnecessary conflicts, and using a defensive stance to weather attacks. By not engaging in futile battles and maintaining a solid foundation, an organization can withstand external pressures. 6. The counterbalance strategy. This strategy is about countering an opponent's strength with a superior strategy, rather than directly confronting them. By finding a weakness in the opponent's approach and exploiting it, an organization can create imbalances and exploit vulnerabilities. 7. The outflanking strategy. Similar to military tactics, this strategy involves maneuvering around an opponent's defenses to attack from a vulnerable angle. By circumventing obstacles and finding unconventional paths, an organization can catch opponents off guard. 8. The disruption strategy. Disruption involves creating chaos within an opponent's organization to weaken their ability to respond effectively. By sowing discord, undermining alliances, and creating internal conflicts, an organization can disrupt its opponent's cohesion and effectiveness. 9. The divide and rule strategy. This strategy centers on exploiting divisions within an opponent's organization. By fostering dissent and encouraging internal conflicts, an organization can weaken its adversaries from within and make them more susceptible to external pressures. 10. The simplification and concentration strategy. This strategy emphasizes focusing on a few essential objectives rather than spreading resources and efforts too thin. By concentrating your organization's energy on a limited number of goals, you can achieve greater impact and effectiveness. These strategies in Part 2 of the book provide insights into how organizations can effectively navigate complex dynamics, build strong structures, and strategically position themselves for success. The section highlights the importance of adaptability, leadership, and understanding the psychology of group interactions in achieving strategic goals. Part 3 of The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene is titled Defensive Warfare. In this section, Greene explores strategies for defending oneself, one's interests, and one's position against external threats. The strategies presented here focus on resilience, patience, and the art of strategically responding to challenges and attacks. Below is a summary of the key strategies discussed in this section. 1. The defensive warfare strategy. This overarching strategy advises adopting a defensive posture when facing a stronger opponent. It involves conserving resources, avoiding direct confrontations, and allowing the opponent to exhaust themselves while seeking opportunities to strike back when the timing is favorable. 2. The non-engagement strategy. Instead of being drawn into conflicts that may not be in your favor, this strategy suggests refraining from engaging in battles that don't align with your objectives. By avoiding unnecessary conflicts, you preserve your resources for situations where your chances of success are higher. 3. The passive aggression strategy. Passive aggression involves subtle resistance and indirect actions to undermine an opponent's efforts. By appearing cooperative while secretly working against the opponent's interests, you create confusion and weaken their position over time. 4. The chain reaction strategy. This strategy, previously mentioned in Part 1, involves setting off a series of events that weaken an opponent's position. By exploiting the interconnected nature of actions and reactions, you can gradually erode their strength and resolve. 5. The strategic withdrawal strategy. The concept of a strategic withdrawal advises temporarily retreating from a situation to regroup, re-evaluate, and come back stronger. By acknowledging your limitations and avoiding unnecessary losses, you can return to the conflict with renewed vigor. 6. The defensive posture strategy. This strategy emphasizes the importance of adopting a solid defensive position that forces your opponent to attack you, potentially exposing their vulnerabilities. By choosing the terrain and conditions of engagement, you gain a tactical advantage. 7. The controlled release strategy. Controlled release involves giving your opponent limited access to what they want, then gradually withdrawing it. This strategy can create dependency and uncertainty in your opponent's mind, giving you leverage and control. 8. The no-attack strategy. This strategy involves projecting an image of harmlessness and non-aggression. By appearing weak and non-threatening, you may discourage potential opponents from targeting you, saving your resources for more favorable situations. 9. The morale strategy. Morale plays a crucial role in defensive warfare. By maintaining high spirits, unity, and a sense of purpose within your own ranks, you can withstand hardships and demoralize your opponents over time. 10. The defensive retreat strategy. Unlike a strategic withdrawal, this strategy involves giving ground to the opponent while maintaining a strong defensive stance. By conceding smaller victories to your opponent, you avoid devastating losses and position yourself for a comeback. These strategies in Part 3 provide insights into the mindset and tactics necessary to effectively defend yourself and your interests. They emphasize the importance of adaptability, patience, and understanding the dynamics of conflict to turn defensive situations into opportunities for strategic advantage. Part 4 of The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene is titled Offensive Warfare. In this section, Greene explores strategies for taking the initiative, seizing opportunities, and attacking your opponent with calculated and aggressive actions. The strategies presented in this part focus on overcoming obstacles, exploiting vulnerabilities, and achieving dominance through well-executed offensive maneuvers. Here's a summary of the key strategies discussed in this section. 1. The maneuver strategy. This strategy emphasizes the importance of flexibility and adaptability. By moving quickly and unexpectedly, you can exploit your opponent's weaknesses and create advantageous positions. This strategy also involves keeping your opponent off balance and disrupting their plans. 2. The frontal assault strategy. The frontal assault strategy involves a direct and forceful attack on your opponent's strengths. While risky, this approach can sometimes surprise your opponent and catch them off guard. It requires boldness, speed, and overwhelming force to break through their defenses. 3. The concentrated force strategy. Concentrated force involves focusing your energy and resources on a specific target. By directing all your efforts toward a single point, you can overwhelm your opponent's defenses and create a decisive impact. 4. The chain reaction strategy. Previously discussed in Part 1 and Part 3, this strategy involves setting off a series of events that weaken your opponent's position over time. By creating a chain reaction of setbacks, you can undermine their morale and resources. 5. The leapfrog strategy. The leapfrog strategy involves bypassing the opponent's main defenses and attacking a weaker, more vulnerable target. By doing so, you avoid direct confrontation with their strengths and exploit their weaknesses. 6. The camouflage strategy. Camouflage involves concealing your true intentions and actions. By misleading your opponent and creating confusion, you can take advantage of their uncertainty and exploit opportunities that arise. 7. The strategic withdrawal strategy. This strategy, previously discussed in Part 3, involves temporarily retreating to regroup and come back stronger. In the context of offensive warfare, it can be used to lure your opponent into a trap or a less advantageous position. 8. The annihilation strategy. The annihilation strategy aims to completely destroy an opponent's ability to resist. By overwhelming them with a powerful and relentless attack, you can cripple their morale, resources, and leadership. 9. The strategic depth strategy. Strategic depth, previously discussed in part, involves having multiple layers of defense and contingency plans. In offensive warfare, this strategy can be used to absorb your opponent's counterattacks and maintain your momentum. 10. The center of gravity strategy. This strategy involves identifying and attacking the opponent's most crucial and vulnerable point. By targeting their center of gravity, you can disrupt their entire operation and gain a significant advantage. These offensive strategies in Part 4 provide insights into how to effectively seize opportunities, exploit weaknesses, and achieve dominance in various situations. They emphasize the importance of calculated risks, strategic planning, and maintaining the initiative to control the flow of events. Part 5 of The 33 Strategies of War by Robert Greene is titled Unconventional Warfare. In this section, Greene explores strategies that go beyond conventional methods, focusing on creativity, innovation, and thinking outside the box to gain an advantage in conflicts and challenges. These strategies involve surprising your opponents, breaking their expectations, and using unconventional tactics to achieve your goals. Here's a summary of the key strategies discussed in this section. 1. The unpredictability strategy. Unpredictability involves keeping your opponents guessing by being unconventional and defying their expectations. By breaking patterns and routines, you create confusion and make it difficult for your opponents to anticipate your actions. 2. The chaos strategy. This strategy involves creating controlled chaos to disrupt your opponent's plans and create opportunities for yourself. By introducing confusion and disorder, you can gain an advantage in the midst of uncertainty. 3. The fait accompli strategy. Fait accompli means presenting your opponent with a situation that is already accomplished and irreversible. By taking decisive actions that force your opponent's hand, you limit their options and gain the upper hand. 4. The isolation strategy. Isolation involves separating your opponents from their allies and sources of support. By creating rifts and divisions, you weaken their strength and control over the situation. 5. The chain reaction strategy. Previously discussed in Part 1, Part 3, and Part 4, this strategy involves setting off a series of events that lead to the downfall of your opponent. By exploiting the interconnectedness of actions, you weaken their position over time. 6. The counterbalance strategy. Counterbalance involves countering your opponent's strengths with a strategy that exploits their weaknesses. By shifting the balance of power, you create opportunities for yourself and undermine their advantages. 7. The strategic depth strategy. Strategic depth, previously discussed in Part 2 and Part 4, involves having multiple layers of defense and contingency plans. In unconventional warfare, this strategy can be used to surprise opponents and launch unexpected attacks. 8. The simulated inadequacy strategy. This strategy involves downplaying your strengths to lure opponents into overextending themselves. By making them underestimate you, you create opportunities to exploit their vulnerabilities. 9. The divide and rule strategy. Divide and rule, previously discussed in Part 2, involves fostering internal divisions within your opponent's camp. 10. The strategic withdrawal strategy. Strategic withdrawal, previously discussed in Part 3 and Part 4, can be used unconventionally to lure opponents into pursuing you, only to fall into a trap or disadvantageous situation. These unconventional strategies in Part 5 emphasize the importance of creativity, adaptability, and thinking beyond traditional methods to gain an advantage. They offer insights into how to disrupt your opponent's plans and create new opportunities through unexpected and innovative tactics. The 33 Strategies of War underscores the timeless nature of human interactions and the enduring relevance of strategies that have shaped history. As readers reflect on Greene's teachings, they are invited to refine their understanding of power dynamics, deception, resilience, and the myriad ways in which strategy can shape outcomes. By internalizing these lessons, individuals gain the tools to navigate the complexities of life with greater wisdom and foresight, ultimately achieving their goals while minimizing unnecessary conflict. In its essence, the book encourages a holistic approach to strategy, one that merges knowledge of the past with adaptability in the present and a vision for the future. As readers engage with Greene's thought-provoking insights, they are empowered to navigate their personal battles, challenges, and aspirations with newfound clarity and strategic acumen. The 33 Strategies of War stands not only as a guide to prevailing in conflicts but also as a testament to the power of knowledge, insight, and calculated action in achieving enduring success. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this short summary. Make sure to like the video and subscribe with notifications so you don't miss out on future summaries. Also, share the video so that others can benefit from it as well.